I just recently did a video talking about how we see things and whether we see them from a evil perspective or if we see them from a good perspective. Why not look at things from somebody else's point of view looking at your life? Should they see the corruption in you, or should they see the glory of God? How do you think the world sees you as a Christian? Our lives should be a testimony that points to God, making His light visible through our character and our conduct. In Matthew verse 5, it talks about how we're supposed to be a light on a hill. We're supposed to shine Jesus everywhere we go. Are we praying for people everywhere we go? Are we glorifying the Father everywhere we go? It says specifically, others may see our good works and glorify the Father in heaven. People should see your life and should glorify the Father. Another scripture to think about is Philippians 2. It says, do all things without grumbling and complaining, to become blameless and harmless, like innocent, harmless children without fault in a perverse generation. With all of the chaos that's going on in this world, we really need to be an example to others. We need to be an example so that when people see us, all the situations that they're going through, somebody does this to this Christian, and how do they respond? When you squeeze an orange, you get orange juice. If you squeeze an apple, you get apple juice. Why is it so difficult to, when we get squeezed as Christians, that everything but Christ comes out? That doesn't make any sense. The other thing to mention is we're supposed to be known for our love. John 13, 34 and 35 says, our love for one another is the ultimate witness. Jesus said, all people will know we are His disciples by our love for one another. Also going back to just holy conduct and what we do and how we do it. Our genuine faith, reference in Peter, demonstrated by our conduct, and prepares us to give a reason for the hope that we have with meekness and reverence. But also from a perspective of how do we see other Christians? Do we say to one Christian, you're not supposed to be here, as if you're going to tear off your ear? Or you're going to cut off your leg because the other leg doesn't want it? Like, every member is necessary, and there should be no division whatsoever. Another big key is forgiving each other and bearing with one another. Colossians 2, our identity is sincere. The truth empowers us to forgive and bear with one another as Christ has forgiven us. So just as a reminder, whatever you're doing, no matter where you go, always remember that if you call yourself a Christian, people are looking at you. They may not know you're a Christian, but your life should look different. Your attitude should be different. Just think about this next time you go out and you're angry. Think about this when you're frustrated. Somebody's watching you. Always remember that. No matter where you go, you are an ambassador of Christ. And everything that you do, you will give an account for it. When you die, there might possibly be a situation God says, you were in this place at this time, and you said nothing. And because of it, that person is now in hell. They could have had an opportunity to know Jesus, but that opportunity was stripped away because you weren't willing to actually step out. You weren't willing to be the hands and feet of Jesus. You weren't willing to be a light. Who takes a light and puts it under a basket? Why do we as Christians not live a life that when people see us, they can glorify the Father? So just as a reminder, I wanted to post this again and just think of it from a perspective. How do we see things? That was my previous video. But how are people seeing us? Do we have the fruits of the Spirit? Think about it today and remember, somebody is always watching you.